A very good afternoon and a warm welcome to your ultimate sporting action. This is Pitch Side. My name is Mike Mbogua. It is my hope and prayer that you had a good weekend. So much has been happening. We'll be here to tell it to you. We'll be here to unfold it. We'll be here to analyze it. We'll be here to critique it. And what deserves to be laughed at, we'll laugh at it and laugh it big. I am not alone on set this afternoon. I'm joined by Victor Mwea. Karibu sana.
Thank you so much, man like Jose. It's a pleasure to be here once again on Pitch Side on this wonderful Monday. A lot of sport in action, World Cups, Premier League, both local and international, the Floodlit Rugby Tournament, and a lot more that we'll be discussing today.
Absolutely. But maybe before you even delve into it, how does it feel? High five over the weekend. And of course, a sloppy draw with Chelsea. As you are here, those are the two things that have happened in Arsenal.
I think with Arsenal, I mentioned it, and I am on record saying that the worst results that Arsenal could get against Chelsea was a draw. And true be it, Arsenal drew against Chelsea, 2 goals down, forcing their way up to 2-2 draw. And even dare I say, almost winning the game in the final minutes. And so it's an amazing result. Of course, the 5 goals, Edin Ketia right there with a hat-trick, boosting his confidence for the month of October, moving forward into the season. We wait to see what is in store for the youngster and for the rest of the Arsenal squad.
Absolutely. We'll be talking about that and more, but let's start it here in Nairobi. This is because the Standard Nairobi Marathon was underway yesterday, and it was a night of triumph for one and only Alphonse Keegan and Evelyn Churchill, who were the winners of the 20th edition of the Standard Nairobi Marathon. It entered its 20th edition. It was an action that many anticipated to see what would unfold. And for Keegan, who had actually tried his fate on the Nairobi Expressway Marathon in July, losing. And for this one, it was a plus, finishing a night in a time of 2 hours, 10 minutes and 18 seconds in the men's race, with Moses Mwangi coming in second in a time of 2 hours, 10 minutes and 26 seconds, while Patrick Kipchirchir finished third in a time of 2 hours, 11 minutes and 59 seconds. It was an amazing afternoon in the ladies category when Chirchir won it in a time of 2 hours, 24 minutes and 31 seconds, as Mary Simiu coming in second and Auleria Cherotich coming in third. Take a look at what unfolded.
Mbio ya leo ilikuwa sawa kabisa. Tulipata machi ya kutosha. Nashukuru Mungu, hii ilikuwa mbio yangu ya kwanza nikikimbia full marathon. Na nimemalisha vizuri sana, nashukuru Mungu kabisa. Nimejitayarisha kwa 3 months, sikuwa na race yoyote. Nisema wacha nikuche nikimbia hii ya standard. Tulikuwa nao mpaka 21 kilometers. Nikiwa 21 kilometers, nikasikia kumbe si mbaya vile. Wacha nijaribu. Sasa nikajaribu na nikashinda. Last year nilikuwa huko half marathon, nikawin tena. Sasa hii ilikuwa ya kwanza sijawahi kimbia full marathon. Maybe hapo mbeleni sasa najitayarisha.
Kwa majina naitwa Alphonse Keegan. Leo nimeshiriki tu mbio wa marathon Standard Chartered. Kwanza naambia Standard Chartered asante kwa kutuandalia hii race. Na kila mtu wenye tumeshiriki pamoja kwa mbio. Naambia hawa asante tena kwa kusaidiana mpaka tumalize mbio. Si kutarajia kushinda, najua kila mtu ni winner. Sasa inategemea na mwenye ata cross kamba ya kwanza, huyo ni mshindi. Yes. 2021 nilikuwa namba 2. Alafu leo hii mwaka nika win.
Ini mara yangu ya pili sasa. Hii ni yangu ya pili.
Kushinda ama kuparticipate?
Kushinda. Kuparticipate na kushinda.
Ulishinda mara ya kwanza ilikuwa lini?
Ilikuwa nilea Kisumu ile race Kisumu City Bright Run. Nikakuwa namba 3. Sasa nilikuwa ya kwanza kuparticipate half marathon. Ndio nilikuja jaribu standard. But my focus ilikuwa standard. Yeah.
That is what really unfolded yesterday at the Standard Nairobi Marathon, the 20th edition, happening yesterday with Alphonse winning and ensuring that he put a mark on the contention of the team that is bound to make it for the Paris Olympics Marathon selection team. Victor, what do you make of this one?
The Stanchart Marathon is a very interesting marathon. I've been meaning to run it. I think I'll be serious the next year. Next year, you should see me, not on the podium. Let me not go that far ahead.
But in the streets.
But on the streets, I'll be right there. And shout out to one of my good friends, Alvin Bushai, who ran the marathon and was able to finish in a time of 3 hours and 30 minutes.
Amazing.
I think that is the Nairobi Stanchart Marathon is one of those events that is both a family event and it is also a scouting event for the national team and for the Olympics and for all the international running, for all the professional and elite athletes that we have around. And so it is good to see new blood in the Kenyan marathon scene with Keegan and Churchill winning and setting a pace and a precedent for what is to come in the 2024 marathon selection.
Amazing. And of course, from the Stanchart, we come closer from one road to the closest road, and this is Ngong Road. This is because the flurries were happening over the weekend. And who best to win this one other than KCB, ensuring that they clinched the 10th title of this one. And after a brave fight, a hard fight, they ended up getting this one 25-23 in the Impala Floodlights against none other than the Nondis. Now, KCB have now set the sight of nothing else but reclaiming the title that has been more or less becoming more elusive. We'll be talking this and more, but take a look at what really unfolded on the Floodies.
Winning it, feel blessed to be part of this historical team because this is our 10th tournament win and 5th in a row. So feel blessed to be part of the team. Amazingly proud of them. We had to dig deep, but it was done. As you know, we have a few players who are at the national team. But I don't see a lot of changes being made.
I think it was just a finals. Finals has its own headaches. So we got ourselves slow when we started playing, but I think we just pulled out at the last minute and won the game as the extra time. I think for us it's just a matter of giving everybody a chance to play because, we've lost a few players at the national team and just coming back to give a chance to the new guys who are coming in and trying the new system. So it's a matter of just growing a team and to be able to bring everybody into the same circle. So I know we still have other players who have gone to the international duties. So we still have a team. Like you see, Nondis have nothing in the national team. So that's their best squad they have for the league. So I think we can still back ourselves that we still have other players who can still come back and make us stronger. Still building up. This was a build-up match for us to see how good we can be as a team. So we still have a few weeks just to prepare our team to be able to build ourselves to play the long period of the Kenya Cup. So there's still time, and it's just a process for us. So we align everything according to what we want to achieve this season, and to see how good we can be when the D-Day comes. Because these are build matches for everybody to just gauge everybody who has come out from the off season to see how good we've been doing our off season.
And there you have it, a team that won the inaugural title, Nondis, losing this one to a team that has now clinched it 10 times. Kudos to KCB. Victor Moya,
yes.
What do you make of this?
I think it's another dominant display by KCB who are, how do we call them? Perennial champions and powerhouses of rugby in this country. Mm-hmm. And safe to note, and also another thing to note is it was a good weekend for KCB, also finishing second in the interbank
yes,
games that were going on over the past week. And so I think we should see much more from the KCB squad moving on into the season, and also the Nondis coming in strong, losing it at the last in extra time by 2 points. That was a dominant performance, a nail biter for sure, that we are yet to see more from these great teams and from that great tournament.
Amazing. And of course, from Nairobi, we take it straight to nowhere best, but Bungoma County. This is because AFC Leopards Matters KPL was in action, and finally, after a long wait, after dismal performance, after firing of one Tom Juma and bringing in Thomas Stretcher, finally, AFC Leopards clinching their first win after beating Nzoia Sugar 1-0. It was a victory that was seen at the Sudi Stadium in Bungoma County on Sunday, with Brian Yakama scoring the only goal on the 34th minute of the action. And they had to wait until the final whistle for their maiden victory in that action. Again, still over the weekend, Ulinzi Stars ensuring that they cement their space of dominance, beating Shabana FC 4-0, which was the biggest scoreline in the KPL weekend. The game was actually played at the Ulinzi complex. Take a look at what really unfolded. Yes, and remaining in local football, and the other action that was underway is the compatriots of Ulinzi Stars. This is Ulinzi Starlets. They were in action playing Kibera ladies, soccer ladies, and then to this one, the game ended 1-1 in time that was played in that action that was played at the Wolfden. This is Kajiado County. Take a look at what really unfolded with Ulinzi Starlets playing Kibera ladies.
Rebecca alafu na Lydia Okoth ambaye anapika magoli sana, lakini licha kwamba anapika pia anafunga sana. Wanajaribu kuleta ile hatari na babatiza mlingoti inatoka nje. Sikizia Ekabu anakuja kupiga Lilian. Lilian namna gani hatari Lilian! Mpira mzuri sana Lilian. Kibera Soka Ladies goli moja. Ulinzi Starlets goli moja.
The player mwenye ametake hiyo free kick, she's good na make the difference because ilikuwa imekaa ni kama tumewin the game, but the last minutes of the game collapse kidogo. Maybe na feel to me one of my defenders create unnecessary tackles of which more than 3 na moja ikakuwa bao, so na feel tu ni collapse kidogo tu na it may make the difference, but we have to focus on our next game against Police. These are tayari imeenda, so I have to accept. We have to accept it is not good, because now Viga, they are leading with the 3 points, of which, and to me, I feel ya kwamba it was a must-win game, but we have to accept. Yes, we have to accept and move on.
Naweza sema game imekuwa even. Both teams wamepiga shughuli, but kidogo pande yangu nikiangalia hizo chance nimepoteza, hizo dakika ya mwisho ilikuwa kuua game. So lazima tu nirudi kwa drawing board, nijue vile naweza fanya tukiget chance kama hizo in the next match.
Yes, and there you have it. That 1-0 win of AFC Leopards against Nzoia Sugar, ensuring that they moved off the relegation zone. They're now position 15 with barely 7 points out of 8 games played. And of course, the 4-0 thrashing of Shabana, ensuring that they now land on the relegation zone at the 16th position. The only other 2 teams that are below them is Nzoia Sugar and Sopapaka. And of course, for Ulinzi, they rise to position number 10. And even as we take a look at that action between Ulinzi Stars and Shabana, what do you make of the AFC Leopards win, Victor?
I think I wouldn't say...
Are they now back on track?
I don't think
it's a case of fortune hunting.
I don't think they are back on track. Of course, when a team fires the coach, it explains a lot of. There is always a lot of underlying issues, so to speak, and this has become evident because when a new coach comes in and is able to turn the team around, or maybe in the first game is able to win a game, to win the first game, it shows that maybe there was a disconnect between the coach and the players, and this is only to be seen. What if replacing the coach will solve the problem? I don't think it will for AFC Leopards. Their problems are much deeper than just the coach. I think they have management issues that they are still dealing with, and we should be able to see, but let's not write them off for now. First win of the season, I think. Still disappointed in AFC Leopards. They are one of the oldest clubs in the country and should therefore be able to turn things around and be able to win a couple more games. And probably, I don't know, I don't think they cannot challenge for the title this time around. But winning that game is, of course, a morale booster to the fans and to the players moving into the next round of the Kenya Premier League. And we shall see what is in store for them.
Absolutely. And of course, the other action that happened over the weekend, it was the game between Bandari and Tusker. Tusker side that has been on a shaky ground. Remember last weekend, the previous weekend, they lost to Gor Mahia 1-0. A game that was more or less the determining factor on where the fate of Robert Matano lied. But at least he's still been safe for a week, and he ensured that he got a win. 1-0 against Bandari. Another game that was played is that Gor Mahia were out to play Sofapaka full-time, 1-1. And of course, the Kariobangi Sharks playing Police FC, a team that has invested, super invested on players, but it was not to live up for the billing. And full-time, 0-0. And then Posta Rangers playing Bidcol United, full-time, 0-0. AFC Leopards, like I told you, they won. Shabana and Moranga Seal, rather a different side of City Stars, are playing Mohoroni Youth, full-time, 0-0. Take a look at what really unfolded at Ulinzi.
Hey.
I just feel everything didn't go right, and it is very unfortunate that it happened. So it is not, I'm not okay with whatever happened, and I just feel I should let it go at the moment. I should just relax and maybe let somebody else come and do the job, because 4-0 is a defeat that I've never ever gone through since I started my career as a coach. Yeah, I feel that is the right thing to do at the moment, because this is a team that has a lot of crowd, and they deserve much better than what happened today. I am proud of whatever I've done ever since I got into this team. I think they also know what I've done to the team, assembling the team, getting promoted, and everything of the sort. So I just leave feeling proud that they gave me the opportunity to their team, and I've done all that I felt was right to the team.
It certainly is the way I want the team to play, and it certainly is the result that I would like to get from this point henceforth. We started the season badly, struggled a lot in the first couple of matches, but I think the players are now regaining their foot. The confidence is coming back now, and congratulations to them for a very, very good display today against a very, very formidable opponent. Well, yeah, I mean, tactical tweaks will always be there, so we had those. We changed the personnel as well a little bit. And I think today the main difference that I've observed as a coach comparing this particular match to the other matches that we've played is that we've been able to put away the chances that we've created, because we were creating way too many chances in the other matches that we've played so far, but we were not able to put the ball in the back of the net. But today we had the composure to do that final bit to ensure that at least we get a decent scoreline.
Of course, from Nairobi, we land straight to nowhere best, but Stade de France. This is as far as the World Cup rugby is concerned. It was this one was huge. It was one to live for. And of course, the fortune hunter, Victor Moya, is here trying to justify that alikuwa amesema hivyo. Hakuna kitu umesema. What had you predicted?
The last time I was on here, I predicted that South Africa was going to repeat. They were going to be back-to-back winners. And actually, they did become back-to-back winners. The second team in history to win back-to-back World Cups in the Rugby World Cup. 4 titles right now, right behind. I think, are they first or they're behind New Zealand?
On the ranking, they're top.
They're
then
first.
New Zealand coming in second.
They're first on the World Cup wins, and I think I was watching an analysis of the game, and they said that the rugby will now move to the bigger men and the less flamboyant, more playful and showmanship of the New Zealand All Blacks. Now will move into the scrums and more of the middle play instead of the outside, moving the ball on the flanks and running around. And so I think that is a new precedent has been set, and now winning 2 World Cups in a row, validating for the Springboks, and of course sending a message to the world. Of course, the experience of the Springboks helps them against a very gritty New Zealand team, a very low-scoring game. If we saw that compared to the previous third match playoff that was between England and Argentina, and so all in all, and the World Cup is coming back home to Africa, in South Africa.
Yes, and of course, one would not afford to ask. It's a South African side, a Springbok side that has been 1 minute they are trailing.
Yes.
And the next minute they come in and come big. Is it a case of morale or it's a case of tactic, really?
I think for the Springboks, I would say it's both morale and also being at the brink of a back-to-back will obviously push you and make you want to play better. And being at the gates of history, as some may say, will obviously make you play in a way that is not normal. And of course, you cannot discount the experience that they have from the 2019 World Cup, where they won against another low-scoring game against England, where we can see that they are gritty and they capitalize on your mistakes. They capitalize on the mistake on the penalties, and they take their penalty. They move the ball very well through their phases, moving into the center field. And when you mess up and you have a foul, they capitalize on it and get a kick, and that is how they manage to win the game.
Amazing. Remember that this was their 3rd straight 1-point win of the tournament. And after their quarterfinal 29-28 against none other than France, they went on to the semis 16-15 against England. And on to this one, 12-11, claiming the record for the World Cup title. I'm speaking about the Springboks of South Africa. Kudos to the African Chargers. I know one other person who's super excited about this one is Prince Charles. Of course, not the one who's landing in Nairobi tomorrow, but the one who's been in these streets from way back. And we'll be taking a short break, but when we come back, we'll be having an amazing guest to talk about the rugby in the modern era. And as we try to assess the game's current position, and especially as far as the Kenya Sevens, the Kenya 15s, the corporate space when it comes to rugby, these and more when we come back. Take a short break. See you in a few.
Yesu ndiye njia.
Mtoto gani katika hii ulimwengu ameitwa Mungu mkuu?
Nasema akasema udhu billahi.
Hata leo usisema udhu billahi, tafadhali usikize.
Yesu ndiye njia. Uchambuzi wa masuala tata katika Biblia na vitabu vingine vya kidini.
No, we don't believe that Christ was crucified. Christ was taken right to heaven by 4 angels, 4 archangels.
Kama Muhammad ndiye alikuwa wa kwanza kuleta dini ya Kiislamu, na alikuja after Jesus, sasa inawezekanaje Ibrahimu awe Muislamu, Musa awe Muislamu?
Yesu ndiye njia. Jadala wa moja kwa moja kati ya walimu wa Kikristo na dini zingine.
Wanasema Mwenyezi Mungu ana mtoto. Jambo hilo wanasema limeleta jambo ambalo linachukiza.
Siri ya Mungu ambaye Mungu amejidhihirisha katika mili. Hii yote ni ukafiri.
Mmefanya makosa makubwa sana kusema kwamba Isa ibn Maryam ni Mungu wa pili na Allah ambaye ameumba mbingu na ardhi mkasema ni Mungu wa tatu.
Yesu ndiye njia. Jumamosi kuanzia saa 1:30 jioni kwenye runinga uipendayo ya Hope TV. Hope TV is now available on GoTV Channel 103, Zuku Channel 873, Signet Channel 817 and Star Times Channel 026. Enjoy our uplifting content and family-friendly programming anytime. Hope TV, you look and live.
I've actually been trying to find a balance. It's been really tough and hectic, but everyone says once you get a hang of it, becomes better, and I don't know, but I'm hoping to find a balance soon because it's really been hectic. But you've been in the job industry for a long time, so I think you would know better, Cindy.
Huh? What time is it? I need to catch up on Leadership Forum. Do they have a radio here? Never mind. I brought my own.
No way. You can't be serious. Wait, why do you have a radio and you can just catch up with the shows on Hope FM podcast?
Really? Even Meet of the One?
Yeah. I mean, you can find them on whatever platform, name it. AfriPods, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, you name it.
But I'm not subscribed on any of them.
So no worries. You can just check out the latest episodes on hopemediakenya.org.
You can now listen to select Hope FM programs on your favorite podcast streaming platform or directly on our website www.hopemediakenya.org. Listen and live.
And of course, welcome back. If you've just joined us, then you're in time for your ultimate pitchside pass. This is Pitchside. My name is Mainke Mbogua. And like I promised you, we're not alone, but we're joined on set by none other than the Kenya Commercial Bank Rugby Football Club, KCB Football Club, backs coach, Mark Mushila. Karibu sana coaches.
Asante sana.
Of course, the first thing we'll be asking, who is a backs coach?
The backs coach deals with from the number 9, number 15. So we are vijana kimbi.
The pace setters.
The pace setters. Watu wa mbio.
Amazing. And of course, you are the winners of the Fladdies and equally the Kenya 7 circuit, the very cups that are actually on the set today with us. And how does it feel having chased this title for now a 10th record time?
I'm blessed to be part of the team that has done this. I was part of the team that won the first one, I think, in 2005. And now to do it as a coach again for the 10th time, it feels, it's a blessing.
Amazing. And of course, the next question one should be asking is, you've not had a good season when it comes to the Kenya Cup. And of course, the 7th circuit really coming in handy, and of course, the Fladdies. What does this win mean, even as we look forward to the Kenya to the Kenya Cup next season?
Winning the sevens with a young squad as well was a boost. Then winning the floodlights again with newly signed players who have brought in new life to the squad boosts us for the 15s coming up.
Amazing. Even as I try to indulge Victor on any sentiments and questions that he has towards this, let's really delve into the national team. And we've seen a good action coming in from the Kenya Cup, the 7th circuit. We are also looking forward to the new season of the Kenya Cup. The team, Kenya Sevens, has been able to secure a ticket to the Paris Olympics, a second one. And my question is, when it comes to the national team, why are we not being able to project the same outing when it comes to the Olympics, pretty much?
If you look at the way the other sides, the ones that, go to the World Cup, they play more or less more than 10 10 or so between the year with other sides. So they're able to build themselves with the same team.
So how do we grow the chemistry of the team more so? Because I think the tactics are there, seeing that we have been able to, at least in the sevens, been able to grow to be competitive in the seventh circuit. How do we ensure that Kenya as a team is gelling together to ensure that when it comes to the Olympics and when we're trying to qualify for the World Cup, we have built up enough experience to be able to compete with other players?
I think when you look at the time we were traveling to Brazil, we were traveling to, I think Portugal came, Hong Kong came. We had more tests and we were more competitive. So we need to bring that back. We need not just say we're playing Uganda, Zimbabwe, Zambia, and then we wait for World Cup here. We need to have more tests with other teams outside our area.
Well, you've mentioned that you've won the seventh circuit with a young squad, and also the Floodies you've won with a relatively young squad with new players. What is the talent pool like in Kenya, from where you sit as a coach, and also being a practitioner in the rugby space? What is the talent pool like? Are the young people indoctrinated into the sport? Have we bought into the sport as Kenyans? Are there more people taking up the game, therefore expanding our selection of players?
I think the coming up now is what we're seeing from those who benefited from age grade. You have the Vincent Onyalas, the Patrick Odongos, the Olindis. They are all now coming into the system. That's why you're seeing the team that was named for the qualifiers for Olympics was people were like, hey, are we sure? But it is the team that proved to be on form.
Yes,
absolutely.
Mhm.
Yes, and you now that is what you're getting from the age grade. Those ones who came from maybe under 10s, they're just playing, coming up.
Yes.
Now we're getting that fruition.
How is that system? How is the age grade system? Does it help? Of course, I think it helps in the selection. Does it help in identifying talent early? And what is being done from? Let's talk about KCB and also other clubs and also at a national level. What is being done to ensure that at the age grade levels we can tap this talent and identify the good players and nurture them into the national team?
No, as KCB, as a bank, thank you. The sponsor has been very adamant about creating that age grade coming up, and you identify early, but you also you build your skill set earlier.
Yes.
During our time, I'm sorry to say, during our time, you get to high school, he can play, get in there. So when so you're learning now. Imagine you are maybe 14, 15. You're learning now to pass.
Yes.
Or you're learning how to rack, but imagine starting it under 9 or under 8. By the time you're getting to secondary school,
the fundamentals are set.
That's it.
And maybe before we talk about corporates, let me hear what the coach made out of that World Cup finals. Yes, what was your genuine assessment on the Springboks against the Blacks of New Zealand?
I am an All Black fan. I have been since 2000 and I think 1 or something, and I will stay an All Black fan.
This must be an Arsenal fan.
Very true.
See, resilience and patience
all
through the season.
All through the season.
Yes.
We'll lose one, get one. Yes, results didn't go our way, but it was an amazing final. It was an amazing spectacle of rugby. Resilience from the All Blacks, resilience from the Springboks. All Blacks got the only try.
Yes. How does does this change how rugby is played worldwide now that we are seeing the bigger players and there is less of the flamboyant, more easygoing pace. And being a backs coach, does this make you rethink how to deploy your backs in the game, moving into the season and now moving into the Olympics and the rest of the time?
No. That I mean, South Africa have their own brand. We have been fortunate. Our sponsors, KCB, have been taking us to South Africa to study there more with Western Province, Thomas, and it's taught us a different way of rugby. But what works for Kenya? Are we a hard-hitting side, or are we vijana kimbi?
Yes.
So what works for you? So would you say All Blacks played badly? No. It worked.
Yes.
It just didn't. They just didn't get to the finish line.
Yeah. And what historically we have seen maybe the scoring of the tries in the World Cup. How does it become that now we have games where we only have one try and the person who scores the try doesn't even win the game? So what do you think? What do you make of that?
No, the game has become territorial.
Yes.
If you look at even the floodlights with Nondis, credit to them. I mean, it was a brilliant final, but it was all about territory. But don't forget also, Nondis came from, they were relegated, came back, but came back with the same team. The team did not
dissolve.
Yes. Yeah, it's the same thing with All Blacks now, South Africa now, and even England. A lot of them are retiring. So what happens next?
So the transitional effect.
Exactly.
Maybe before we come to almost the tail end of this special interview, my question at this point is the space of corporates.
Yes.
Because thus far, KCB has been able to achieve a lot because of the corporate sponsorship. Have we really had enough, or there is so much to be done?
There's so much to be done. I mean, I'm not into politics. I don't like dwelling into politics, but corporates help the younger players grow, and it should keep the support should keep going. So yes, KCB, thank you very much. Now you've had you talked about the interbanks, and you saw how that brought a lot of people out of the various areas of our city, of our country, sorry. So if the same can be done nationwide, how far can we go as Kenya?
Maybe my last question as we come to the end of this one is a new management, Kenya Rugby Union under Sasha Mutai. Is it a new season for us, or it's just the same old rhythm? A new leadership comes in with a lot of hope, then before long, we are out.
It's a new management, both top level, sevens, same thing. You have Andrew, you have Bling, you have Louis, young coaches. So it's a step up. Look at what they did for the country during the sevens qualifiers. Look at how they've transitioned players, picking players from those who are performing in the circuit. Same thing happens for the 15s, and it is progressive. It will be progressive.
Right. My very final question. What do we look forward to into the new season of the Kenya Cup after this one?
We build from here. I would say we build from here. I mean, if you look at over the weekend, Oilers were beaten by Kenyatta University. It's never been done, I think.
Yep.
I might be corrected there. Look at how Nondis pushed us in the final. So it'll be competitive, it will be aggressive, and it will be amazing.
As we wind up, let me ask this about maybe the Floodlit tournament and all the circuits that are going on. Are they enough do we need more circuits and more tournaments in order to sharpen ourselves as the Kenya team and also just as players professionally?
Professionally, I think I think we have only what 3 months break in the whole year. So if you look at established teams, they take minimum 6 weeks. In that 3 months that we have, you still have to prepare for the next. Look at us coming from Kenya Cup to sevens, and the time you need to prepare for the sevens. Are you doing justice to the players? Yeah. So I think the breakage in between is where I would be personally, I would be against.
Okay.
Yeah.
A final question on the culture of sports in Kenya particularly. I think the Ngong Road is a very popular sport for rugby in this country. What do you think about the turnout over the years? Ever since, of course, we had a break with in 2020 and 2021 with no events. What do you think about the floodlights this year? Have they lived up to the expectation, being the 40th edition, a milestone for the Floodlit tournament? What was it like, and how did the fans respond? The outcome, the interactions with the fans, how was that?
No, fans were amazing. Throughout the tournament, they supported from varsity to the main teams, but the fans were amazing. I mean, I love seeing that because you want to walk into a stadium or a field and you see people around, whether they're supporting you or not, but you're giving something to them. So it was amazing. I mean, our fans as well, KCB, they turned out in droves. They supported the team through and through, and keep encouraging them to do the same.
All right.
Indeed. Thank you so very much, Awan Mariko Mushila, who is the box coach at KCB. Thank you for finding time to be with us.
Thank you.
Wishing you the very best in all your endeavors.
Thank you.
Now we shift gears from rugby to some boxing. And it was a controversial one. Many have termed it as controversial. Many have raised all manners of issues. It happened in Saudi Arabia. Tyson Fury up against Francis Ngannou, and the British heavyweight claimed the controversial split decision, winning over the former UFC fighter. WBC heavyweight champion Tyson Fury winning a controversial split decision victory over Francis Ngannou in Saudi Arabia. Now, the 37-year-old put Fury to the canvas in round 3 after connecting with a left hook. But while one judge scored a 95 against 94 in favor of Ngannou, two gave Tyson Fury 96-93 and 95-94. So Fury's world BC heavyweight belt was not on the line. One would ask this. What do you make of this one, Victor? Do you really feel like Tyson Fury had actually bullied these people by his body? This one.
I think looking at the most recent Tyson Fury fight, which was against Deontay Wilder, where he obviously outweighed Wilder and used his weight to beat him, tiring him and putting his weight on him. And I don't think this was the case here, because even we saw a very intentional elbow from Tyson Fury to Francis somewhere in the middle of the fight, and he didn't flinch. Ngannou didn't flinch, meaning that he's a very strong fighter. Of course, being the resilient fighter from the UFC, mixed martial fighter, and combining all of this and coming in specializing in boxing, I think it was a good showing for Francis Ngannou, and I will say a weak performance from Tyson Fury, one where he won but receiving a knockdown.
Coaches, what do you make? Do you really think Tyson Fury won?
I wouldn't lie to you. He won the same way I would say Mayweather has won his fights.
Woo. Okay.
That one is that's a good one.
Well, it was not to be, and of course, as Africans, we felt bad about this one. But of course, for a 37-year-old, the best we can do is to wish him all the very best. Allow me to move fast. This is because the biggest action is happening tonight.
Before we move
France,
on,
yes.
Do you think Francis Ngannou has a future in boxing?
Absolutely. One of the things that one of the things that I actually made out of him is the confidence. You know, if you want to know a good boxer is one who takes chance. And when he sees one, he capitalizes on the best of it.
Yes, true.
And not just that, the confidence to go box after box after box, even when you're playing a big person like Tyson Fury, because we all know Tyson Fury is not just Tyson Fury.
Yes.
It's Tyson Fury. And, well, Saudi Arabia fans, I'm triple sure many who are Africans are there, did not love this one. They didn't. And like I was telling you, straight from Saudi Arabia, we go to France. This is because the 67th edition of the Ballon d'Or is going down tonight. Lionel Messi, having won the World Cup, Erling Brand Haaland, having won a treble, Kylian Mbappe, having an impressive season with PSG, and also the national team France, Karim Benzema, Luka Modric, will be in action. The first thing is, who is supposed to win this one? Coaches.
I would go with Lionel Messi and Benzema.
Why Lionel?
Lionel because he has done a lot for Argentina. He's done a lot for the sport. Benzema just because he has sheer hard work. Like year after year, he keeps performing. And you want to see where the reward is going to be.
Amazing. Victor,
I think
you're an Arsenal fan. I don't know why I have a feeling where you will push this one. Let's go.
I think with Erling Haaland being or one of the newer faces in the Ballon d'Or conversation with a treble, but I think he plays for a very good team in Manchester City, and I don't think Argentina, I wouldn't say it was a bad team by any stretch of the imagination, but having been guided by their captain Lionel Messi to a third World Cup, that was amazing to see. And so I think Lionel Messi will take this one simply for the fact that is his only missing the five rings of Thanos. That is the missing one. And I think now he's completed his gauntlet. And I think he's well deserving of a Ballon d'Or this time around.
Of course, Erling Haaland is a player that I would wish we really discuss at length. And is he the future of football? Or he's a one-season wonder? Because you can see the likes of Jude Bellingham coming in strong. The likes of Kylian Mbappe coming in strong. Why wouldn't we give this one to one Erling Haaland?
If I can answer that, do you remember Ruud van Nistelrooy?
Yes, one and only, Netherlands' finest.
Yes. He was that player you knew. Anytime you give him a ball in the box, that's it.
Yes.
It's done. It's a goal. So Haaland is in that bracket. Same as Van Persie, I think. Was the same.
I will put Didier Drogba inside there.
There you go. So you see, you're talking about him in the same space.
So so you're saying Erling Haaland has no particular impact on the game when outside of the box. Same as because Lionel Messi will be in midfield and pull out a goal out of nowhere, but Erling Haaland has to go inside and wait.
Haaland to me would be the perfect defender as well. Like if they don't have possession, he can drop back. He has the height. You can't chip a ball. You can't
yes,
any aerial balls he can take care of. But in the box,
yes, very dangerous.
Very dangerous.
I think as coaches is saying, I think Erling Haaland is a scorer, a pure scorer at its finest. And I think the problem with pure scorers is they will always get theirs, but it takes. I think we've seen a few frustrations this season with Erling Haaland not being able to get goals, and even when not getting goals, not being able to affect the game in any way. He's there, but you will take about 5 minutes before you're like, oh, Haaland is in this game. He does not pull back to get the ball and go back in. He's just a roaming striker, which I don't think is good for the modern game, but he's effective in the system that he plays in. Take him out of there, does he succeed? I do not know.
Of course, when we want to talk about the Ballon d'Or, you would not afford not to talk about the Golden Glove. And this one is sounding more funny when you mention some names. And the names that are actually appearing here, one, Andre Onana, Inter Milan, Manchester United. He's a Cameroonian. And the other person coming in strong is Emiliano Martinez from Argentina and Aston Villa. Onana, away from what he's done at Manchester United, what he's been able to do at Inter, do you really think he's a contender for this one, coaches?
No. No.
You guys have already casted the dice.
No.
My producer, Richard Ohalo, will come for you next.
No.
Of course, the young players also is a list that one would focus on. The likes of Bukayo Saka, Jude Bellingham. You'd look at Radal Kolomuani, Kylian Mbappe coming in also there, Nicolo Barella, young people. So for the youngster, who would you really pick?
I will go with Kylian Mbappe, simply for his World Cup heroics. He single-handedly kept France in the game and almost scored at the brink. And that is why Emiliano Martinez will win the Golden Glove, because, again, of the World Cup heroics. I think after the World Cup, we base most of the Ballon d'Or ratings on the previous biggest event, because the World Cup, the FIFA World Cup, is the pinnacle of football, and that is where the best of the best play. And when you have the best of the best proving that they are the best, when you have all A students and one of them is an A above the rest, of course you will be able to, they should be crowned. And so I think Kylian Mbappe, just by the mere fact of his World Cup performance, his club performance is good also, because he plays for PSG and he plays in a good system. But I think the individual brilliance of Kylian Mbappe single-handedly carried France in the 2022 World Cup, and therefore he deserves a win as a young player.
Maybe, coaches, before we enter to the biggest action that happened over the weekend, how big, I'm yet to know. But wouldn't you give it to one Bukayo Saka? Because he equally single-handedly brought Arsenal from the darks of the darks to the table of real men when it comes to football.
Saka is an amazing player. But where Arsenal went right was to sign Jesus, Gabriel, and it complemented Saka, because now he didn't have to carry all that weight on his shoulder.
Yes.
Jesus would do his thing, Saka would be there, and that's how I think he is a brilliant, amazing player, but he needs that support.
Of course, so Saka will be coming up against Eduardo Camavinga, Jude Bellingham, Gavi, Rasmus Højlund, Jamal Musiala, Pedri, Antonio Silva, Xavi Simons, and Eli Wahi. Of course, when it comes to the Golden Glove, Yasin Bonu, Tabot Katoa, Edison, Dominic Liverpool, Michael Mignan, Emiliano Martinez, Andre Onana, Aaron Ramsey, Britt Samba, and of course, Marc-Andre ter Stegen. Away from that and straight to the land and the city of Manchester, it is now official, very blue. It was a big action, was it, coaches, really?
I just saw a lot of fans who were very angered.
By an anonymous team.
Yes. But they knew the result that would come, but they just didn't. I don't know if it's believing it. And they thought they could pull an Arsenal, but didn't happen. So yeah.
Full time, Erling Haaland and Phil Foden, two people who've obviously known that we may stay forever with no goals. But once Manchester United comes in town, we have something to write home. Erling Haaland scoring a brace and Phil Foden ensuring that Manchester United went down in a game that the head coach, Erik ten Hag, said they played well. One Victor Moher. What is playing well?
I don't think that is a moral victory, and I don't think at this level and being Manchester United, one should dwell on moral victories. The victory of scoring more goals than your opponent is the only victory that we can accept from a big club such as Manchester United, and there is no excuse for that, because they played poorly, in my opinion. They were outclassed by Manchester City, with Erling Haaland being there. Of course, we can debate on whether the first first goal being a penalty from Erling Haaland was actually a penalty, but that is the way the modern game goes, with of course with the inclusion of VAR. But I think for the rest of the game, I saw Manchester United were pushed into their own half for a majority of the second half, and I was thinking to myself, Manchester United are 2-0 down, and they are parking the bus. They are not trying to attack the ball. They're not trying to get the ball. They're just trying to contain the pressure of the press that is Manchester City. And of course, they succumbed to a third goal. And possibly, I think they got lucky. They will a lot more goals will have come from that matchup.
Amazing. Other fixtures that really happened: Liverpool playing Nottingham Forest full-time 3-0 in a game that Dyers is not in, or rather was not in, Douglas Luiz. This is because his family is having an issue after the mother and the father were kidnapped in Colombia. We'll be waiting to hear what really unfolds on that one. But of course, Brighton Hove and Albion playing Fulham full-time 1-1. Aston Villa playing Luton Town 3-1. West Ham playing Everton 1-0 with Calvert-Lewin scoring this one. Yes?
Brentford.
Yes. We'll be talking about that. That's why I want we fold it there. Newcastle United, Wolverhampton Wanderers full-time 2-2. Burnley playing Bournemouth 2-1. Now, we are left with two teams, Arsenal and Chelsea. Which one do you want to go first? Chelsea, what's happening? Some of us are losing weight because of you, club.
I think from that game, I think I don't know whether it's a personnel issue or it's a coaching issue, because Brentford is not the team that Chelsea should be losing to.
But that Brentford beat Manchester United.
Manchester United aside, Chelsea, I think...
Oh, Manchester United is a different case.
Put that aside.
I don't think Manchester United is in conversation of
football
serious
anymore.
And I think Chelsea is quickly joining this conversation of teams that we shouldn't really be devoting a lot of airtime to, because I think, of course, being up 2-0 against Arsenal, a serious title contender right now, and drawing 2-2, I think that has to be demoralizing at some level, where you're coming into the next game not really sure what you can do. You played your best game against a very good team and ended up losing concentration and drawing, and them coming back and drawing with you. And so you move to a team that maybe you should be able to contain, and your confidence is not there, your morale is not there, your players are a bit shifty, and there you see a 2-0 loss. Because I actually thought Chelsea was going to equalize at some point, and then I just left the screen for a few minutes. Coming back, it's 2-0, and I honestly don't know what is happening at Chelsea at this point.
I think you had said this point before. You know, when you come to the local league and you say you change coaches. Before that coach brings his system, then you start winning. It takes a while, but don't forget the league is still continuing. So before you get that chance to come back,
lost some games that you've
lost exactly, and that's what I think has happened to Manchester. It happened to Arsenal after Arsene Wenger left.
Happened to Liverpool.
Yes.
Well, that's all the time we've had. I don't want to talk about Arsenal because my producer tells me time is gone. But they won full-time 5-0 against Sheffield United. I don't know whether this is the season. We'll be looking forward to talk that and more. But from me, Mike Kimbogua,
Victor Muia,
Mariko Mshila.
It's been real. We get to do this all over again on Monday. God bless you. Have a brilliant one. Cheers.